Unique present.
Everybody's beautiful in their own way.
A few years ago, Sue Mulqueen, formerly Sue Hogarth, was the popular host of the kids program Surprise Surprise. These days, the only children she's entertaining is her 18-month-old son Harrison. Let's see what Sue has to say about TV in the 80s.
Well, Sue, can you tell us how you got your start at BCV8?
Well, I'd already worked at Channel 9 in Melbourne for a few years, and I was a bit sort of stuck in a rut, and I thought if I go to one of the country stations, I'll be able to have a look around and experiment with different departments. So I wrote to BCV, no response, rang up, no response. So one day I just got in the car, came up, and I said, here I am, I'm Sue, I'd really like to work here. And they thought, well, she's got a bit of confidence, this girl, so we'll put her on. And I started off in the videotape department in production. Good start.
Was it a tough job initially?
Oh, it was. I looked at everything and I thought, I don't know what to do here. I need to be an electrician, all the buttons and all the lights going off. But I really concentrated on what I was doing, and I loved it. And I did it for 12 months before Surprise Surprise.
Well, how did that break come where you went from a behind-the-scenes person to being an on-camera person?
Purely by accident. They were deciding to do a show called Surprise Surprise, and management got Mulqueen, who was a presenter. We had a few run-throughs, and I was actually recording it in videotape, and he really needed a sidekick. He really needed someone that he could sort of have a bit of a yarn to and tell a few jokes. It was a bit hard for him in the studio by himself, and because I was already there, someone, I think the director, just said, okay, get downstairs and talk to Neil. And I thought, oh, what? I don't know what to do here. But I had a go, and we did really get on well. And I just thought, well, if I don't give this a go now and really try, then I'll always wonder whether or not it would have been a good career. So yeah, got down there and just talked absolute nonsense all night, and it worked.
Primarily, the show was produced at the studios of BCV8. Did you get the chance to go out and meet the people and present the show out in the country?
We did. We really did. We did shows in Swan Hill. Oh, the travelling was amazing. I would have liked frequent flyer points for driving the car. Where else? We went to Traralgon and also out in the Mall in Bendigo at the Hargraves Mall. As well as that, we did lots of appearances sort of on weekends at all the local shows, at schools. Anyone who'd write in and say, hey, can Sue and Molly come along? We're always, sent along and had a great time.
On the times that on location, obviously it's live television, then it's a lot harder. Plenty of goofs and a lot of things go wrong.
So many things went wrong. I mean, we're always out there absolutely freezing. Because the show started off from 8 in the morning until 10, we'd have to get out there at about 6:30. A bit hard to look glamorous. There wasn't couldn't get anything to eat. Nothing was open for us at all, not even toilets. But yeah, it was just, they were the best years. We were out on air for 8 years, and we were so lucky. The show just kept going and going. When other things sort of failed along the way and sort of wound up, we kept going from 1985 until 1992.
Away from Surprise Surprise then, Sue, you also had other roles within the station. There was a lot of multi-skilling going on in those days. What are the major changes you saw at country television at that time?
Yeah, definitely. Like you say, the multi-skilling, I think the number of staff sort of decreased quite dramatically, so everyone had to learn different skills. For a while I went back to the videotape editing as well as being on Surprise Surprise, and then when aggregation came in 1992, that made it incredibly hard for us to survive, because then we were back against national programs that had bigger budgets, more high-tech gizmos, probably better cartoons. Everything was done on a much bigger scale, and we really couldn't compete. But we still had a lot of local following, but it just wasn't enough to keep going.
Well, so did any real goofs happen on the program over the years?
Oh, absolutely. Trying to pronounce names, kids' names, place names. I still have nightmares about Menangatang. I don't think I said that correctly once. But also kids' names were always tricky. I'd always sort of get Molly to help me and say, how do you think you'd say this name? So if there's anyone watching who we mispronounced your name, I'm very sorry. And Marty Monster was always goofing up. We just never knew what to expect with him. It was terrifying.
Sue, great to see you again and great to catch up with you, and thanks for being on the show tonight.
Oh, thanks, Bezzo.
BCX Royal Standard, your guide to a good drink.